Show you the instructional project if you decided to choose an instructional video. And this is, again, make sure that you have talked with your instructor because it's going to be on a single specific topic. You're going to be, it's going to be an individual project. It needs to align with a particular standard, and it should meet one of these particular ideas. So some things are better suited for an instructional website or an ebook, and then others are better suited for a video. So make sure that you've talked with your instructor. Anyway, so if you go to our website and go down to the instructional project page, which we're on right now, and click on instructional video at the top, it'll take you right to instructional video. So a basic description, it needs to be an instructional video to allow viewers to, or allow your students to acquire specific skills or knowledge. So you really need to be intentional about what you're doing, how you're talking about things, and if it's meeting the requirements. So there are a couple of different elements that we will show you how to integrate into your video later. You'll actually be embedding some really great questions, so it makes it a little bit more interactive and it's not just talking at your students. Here are some different examples, so you can look at some different examples. We've also provided for you, I think up here, maybe it's down here, some other really great examples. Most of these are not W200 examples, but they provide you with some really interesting ideas for how to create your video. Different styles and themes, so explore those. Also know that we do have a green screen available, so if you wanted a movie or moving images like behind you as you talk, that's something that we can help you with as well. So the first thing that you'll be doing for your instructional video is creating a lesson plan. So that's the first deliverable. And the instructional video lesson plan template, you'll go through this here. First thing that we need to do is you need to be logged in with your EDUC Gmail account. So this is usually like EDUC your first name, last name, or EDUC your last name, first name at gmail.com. Do not use your Indiana email account. It'll just mess everything up for some reason. So we first need to make a copy of this because this is just a template. So you're going to go to File, Make a Copy, and we're going to rename this. We're not going to call it Copy of W200 Instructional Lesson Plan. And I'm going to put my last name, first name, and then I'm going to put Monday 9027 because that's my section. And then you can press OK. Now once it appears, you're going to want to share this particular document, and we want to make sure we click up here on Get the Shareable Link, and anybody with the link can edit it. And this way we don't have to worry about making sure that your instructor's email address is spelled correctly. So when you're done, you can copy this link or just press Copied, and a link will copy to the clipboard, and press Done. And you can come in here to your assignments, and it should be under instructional or video deliverable lesson plan, and you should be able to submit the link through the Canvas assignments here. And again, you should have gone into Canvas, click on assignments, and then that should pop up for you. I don't have the student view, so I can't see exactly what you see. Anyway, so now I have my instructional video lesson plan. And when I'm done with all of this, I can delete the red text. Okay? So I put in my student name, and I put my section number, and then I can choose my particular standard. So you can find the standard by just searching for Indiana State Standards, or you can go to our W200 website. And on week 2, I think we have links to this. I think I'll also put a link on the template, so you should be able to see it that way too. And so here are the particular standards. And I'm going to go to my social studies standard. And when I click on that, I can go to the 5th grade standard. And so I've already highlighted this here. So I want to identify major British and American leaders, maybe the causes of it, So that's something that I want to create a video on. So if I copy this, and I also want to make sure I get the numbers because that's going to be important. So if I copy that, I can come back to my instructional lesson plan. I'm going to close that one out so I don't get confused. And I'm going to paste my standard here. And then at the end of it, I want to write my learning objectives. So now I want to say my students will be able to, and I want to make sure that I'm using vocabulary, or I'm using verbs that are measurable. And what I mean by that is if I say the students will be able to understand the American leaders, I really can't measure understanding. Or the students will learn. Well, how do I know that they're learning? So another easy way to do is to use the verbs that they have in the actual standard. So the students will be able to identify major British and American leaders, but maybe I just want to say they should be able to list major British and American leaders of the American Revolutionary War. And then I want to say next, the students will be able to describe the significance of major British and American leaders in key events of the American Revolutionary War. So maybe those will be my two main things that I'm going to be focusing on. What should students be thinking of before, during, and after the video? Well, they've probably been provided with a little bit of background knowledge. And if I look at the particular standard here, they probably already know, they understand how political and religious and economic ideas brought about the American Revolution. So I'm going to come over here and post that here. And they probably have a brief understanding of the causes of the American Revolution. So that gives us a little bit of background knowledge, and then they're going to just get this video. This video will be an introduction to the topic, and then during the presentation they will take notes and answer the embedded questions. And again, I said that we were going to kind of walk through that. We'll show you how to use Edpuzzle and embed questions into your YouTube videos later. And then after the video, what will you ask them to do? So they will be asked to select one of the major leaders and research that leader. So you want to provide them with enough information so that they know which leader they would pick and why. The grade level, because this is a 5th grade, and we know that based on the standards that we picked. And the age range, it's usually a rule of 5, so you can add 5 to whatever the grade is. So this would usually be 10 to 11-year-old students. So now the preliminary plans for your instructional video. Just discuss what your completed video assignment might look like. So is it going to be a reenactment? Is it going to be a kind of a lesson that walks through a map step by step? Are you going to introduce each person? Which people are you going to introduce? So you can just really do this with a bulleted fashion, what an outline for like a paper might look, or an outline for a script might look. So here you might want to go a little bit more in depth. So you'll write the full script on the storyboard, but this really only needs more bullet points. So you can, sorry, this one's actually not bulleted. This one's a brief overview. And then this one should be a bulleted point, kind of like a table of contents. Okay, so that should help you walk step by step. And when you're done with all of this, you'll just delete all of the red text. And then you can save it and get the link, again, by going up to share and copying the link, and then you should be able to submit this to Canvas. So don't hesitate to contact your instructor if you have any questions.